Anyway.
What's this all about?
This super quick. The Select Committee on the CCP is the House committee that basically goes after the bad stuff the CCP is doing, American political organization. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good stuff they do. They basically they wrote a letter to launch an investigation into Georgia Tech, which is a college, a university in America, due to its partnership with blacklisted Chinese military-linked universities. So they wrote this open, I don't know if it's an open letter, but they posted it. And basically insinuating that Georgia Tech has been partnered with stuff that's giving military technology to
China.
the PLA.
Yeah, to the People's Liberation Army. And this happens a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so read that, share it around.
Yes, it's down in the description.
Another thing, Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party, and this is the same organization, right?
Yeah.
It says, this is a little summary. It says, reveals how the Chinese government owns and heavily influences the alleged private biotech company, BGI Genomics, alongside its subsidiaries MGI and Complete Genomics. So read all of these, definitely. We don't have time to get in super big depth. But
basically, the Chinese government has found ways for the U.S. taxpayers' money to fund China's research, military research, biotechnology research, and all that by using these kind of shell companies in the USA. Please pay attention to this kind of thing. Anyone who's, anyone.
Yeah, imagine this. Imagine you have two countries that call each other adversaries, but let's be honest, they're just enemies at this point.
Yeah.
And they're super both worried about each other, like stealing military intelligence or technology or anything, specifically America, right? Because China has a lot to gain.
There's nothing to gain. You can't steal anything from China because they have nothing to steal.
You understand what I'm saying, though? Like what's on paper, right?
Imagine whatever the opposite of intellect, it'll be whatever property. You know what I mean?
Stolen property.
Yeah, stolen property,
Ballsack property.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Madonna heads.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have these two countries. Imagine you have a university in this country that is potentially, and again, this is allegedly, funding the military in the adversary
That's
country.
what's happening.
What are you doing?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's move on. Do we have anything else here?
Yes, a quick update. So I wanted to give some, can you pause it there?
Yeah.
Do you love this title?
It looks frilly.
It's very frilly.
Yeah.
This is a stock Final Cut title.
Oh, nice.
This is called Biden's China Tariffs. So
Is that what the title is called?
This is what I called it.
Okay.
So there's a ton of information going around about what the EV tariff meant on Chinese EVs. The idea is, in super quick summation, if you tariff Chinese EVs, they can't use their government subsidy cheap EV cars, dump them on your country because they'll have to pay too much and it's not profitable anymore.
Yeah, and it's just unfair trade.
Yeah, because they're subsidizing on a state level.
Yeah, and that's not allowed according to the, international trade organizations and stuff. It's unfair.
It's dumping, right? So you have a situation where the Chinese government can take a car, let's say it's 30 grand cost, and they can be like, well, we'll subsidize it, and now it's only 10 grand.
Well, I mean, think about it like this. Say you've got kids and they have to bake a cake for the school fair or whatever. Sure. And then they're all told, you're going to bake a cake, go get your ingredients, bake your cake, and then you're going to bring it. But then one of the kids' parents decides he's going to be, super sneaky, and he goes and buys 100 cakes from the shop and gives it to his kid. Says, here, now you go and pretend that's yours. It's that type of thing. Yeah. So all the other kids work really hard. They produce a sloppy cake. But one kid comes here with his parents bought him these cakes, and then he comes to the bake sale. It's kind of unfair.
So you end up with a $30,000 car that only costs the American public 10 grand.
Yes.
Because it's been subsidized at a state level by China.
So of course they're going to buy that over the local competition. And then China wins and the local companies in America lose.
So Biden signed these nuts tariffs that took the EV tariff from 27.5% to 102.5%. So you're not going to profit off of any Chinese vehicles.
Also, don't forget that China puts massive luxury taxes and stuff on anything that's foreign being sold in China. So this is kind of fair. It's evening things out.
Yes. Yeah. So solar is also on solar cells.
Yeah, 50%.
Which was controversial. A lot of people were like, well, a lot of politicians won't do that because it goes against the whole green initiative thing. Yeah. Nope, 50% up on that. Aluminum's now 25% from 7%. Yeah. Chips went from 25% tariff to 50%. Lithium-ion batteries, 7.5%, 25%. And then steel, 7%, now 25%. These are sweeping tariffs. That's good. These are nasty
This
tariffs.
could really help repair some of the local economies.
And the unfair trade
It gives the average person a chance. It gives the not only corporations, but small mom and pop shops and stuff that want to create stuff locally in their own country, not just America.
Yeah.
But it gives them a chance, right?
Yeah. So interesting update on that. It wasn't just EVs. It was a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I like this article from The Atlantic. I'll read you a quick little excerpt from it.
Yes.
Because there's this narrative going around from the Chinese government that this trade war that Trump started, Biden kept going, and then it even ramped up, is completely America's fault, and it's unfair, and it's protectionism. It's literally like pot calling the kettle black, right?
Yep.
It says, yet China's leaders have no one to blame but themselves. They joined a global trading system and then gamed that system. Biden's tariffs are the natural response, though they are not an entirely positive one. Protectionism raises costs, hurts consumers, shields unworthy companies from competition, and punishes worthier ones. Disputes over trade will only intensify the rivalry between the world's two great powers. The most obvious and dramatic evidence for this was unveiled yesterday by President Joe Biden, who announced that the administration will quadruple existing tariffs, which I already read, right? Chinese government instantly protested and threatens actions of its own. The United States should immediately correct its wrong practices. The Chinese Ministry of Commerce said in a statement, China will take resolute measures to defend its own rights and interests.
It only ever does that.
So you can be wrong for 20, 30 years. And then the America's like, that's enough.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're wrong. You are not true.
Yeah, exactly. It's always been unfair. China's always been able to get away with stealing intellectual property, making knockoffs, undercutting the people they stole the technology from, actually causing companies like Nortel and so on to go under. I mean, they've always had very bad trade practices, and they've taken advantage of their developing country status to get like free or cheap shipping around the world, all sorts of things. So it's about time that kind of comes to a stop. I mean, why get up on the table? Oh, another guy's up on the table.
If you notice, they're not fighting over an object. They're actually fighting over who can stand on the table.
He's just going to sit there. Come on, stand up and strike a pose. Ridiculous. Oh, I like that. What is he playing, golf? Okay, I want you to notice something.
It was at this moment that he knew.
What the?
Can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind